All right, next chart that we're gonna go over is the bar chart. Now, the bar chart, just like the column chart, can be initialized into single, grouped, or stacked series, meaning a single series will look like this, a grouped series will look like this, and a stacked series will look like this. The only difference in between them is the single series initialized with single name and single values, versus the grouped and the stacked series, so-called multi-series, are initialized with an array of value and an array of series name, right? That's basically it. And this basically means that further how to differentiate if it's a grouped or a stacked one, because both of those are multi-series, both of those will have the value and the series in arrays, is going to be the actual stack true or false, because if it's stacked true while having array value, array series name, that means it's a stacked one. But if it's stacked false while you're having these so-called multi-series, means you are in a grouped version. So that's how you differentiate between chart modes: single, grouped, and stacked versions. So regarding the design, just like in the previous versions, we have modern, minimalistic, cyberpunk, professional, and then in the custom section, you can set each of the stuff that these particular themes control. So you can set the text color to your liking, you can set the grid color, so behind these dotted dashes you can set it to blue one, you can set a border color. Right now it's, as you can see, white around there, but I can set it to red, just like this, right? And now it's red. I could set border radius, so how these particular ones are going to be the border. Shadow blur will not affect this one, but the font size will be, right? Because it's directly affecting even the vertical axis. The font family you can set, or font weight, meaning should be bold, or you can set this one to be semi-bold or whatever that might be. Or you can set the design into default or select a predefined design itself. Next, let's go back to single series. You can set the bar spacing just like in the column one, how much spacing you need between bars. Animation duration, how fast these should render out, either a very slow one or a very fast one. Dark mode, full dark mode support, of course. So even if you set the theme into your project itself, you can still adjust the chart accordingly. All the texts are going to directly switch over to black, outline dark, black, etc. So it's a full dark or white mode support. Show grids, do you want to show the grid or not? Show labels, do you want to show the labels or not? So then it will not show the labels right here. Show legend, so you have this little cheat code on the top right corner. You need to show the tooltips, meaning if you hover over, nothing will show, but if you enable this, tooltip will show you accordingly. Show values, so right here in the values, if I take this, will not show. If I enable, it will show. A nice glow effect around it, and of course the custom color, so you can set it accordingly to your liking, meaning what is the actual color that you would like to do. KMBT format, we explained previously, but again, KMBT just says that you're sending the values, raw numerical values, meaning 105,000, 85,000, 98,000, etc. But it literally says 98K, 105K, because you enable this formatting, which is above 1,000 is K, above 1,000,000 M, above 1,000,000,000 B, above 1,000,000,000,000 T. So if I set this off, now it's 105,000, I enable it, it's 105K. So it's a nice little format. You don't want to show a billion in numbers directly in top of the values. It's gonna look terrible. Minimum and maximum values. So this basically means, just like in the column chart, that the minimum on the value x, which is in this case a horizontal axis, not the vertical one, because it's a bar chart. So the minimum and the maximum, how far it should scale. Right now it starts at 0, but I could set this one to 25,000 or 26,000, and that means all the charts move a little bit to the left, because right now this one is 25K. If I set it to 0, now it's 0. Same for the maximum value, I could set instead of 125,000, which is 125, because by default it accommodates your largest value, which is 125 in your data set. That's the largest value you sent. But instead I could do a 225, and that would mean all of them going to the left side, because right now we are scaling up to 225. So it's a custom value axis, minimum and maximum value. And of course the pre and after fix, meaning I could, now it says 125K, but I could put a dollar sign here, and now it says dollar 125K, or I could put a USD like this, and now it says dollar 125K, and then a space bar, and then USD like this. So it's a nice little addition that it basically tells you you can prefix and you can afterfix, because you send your values raw numerical values like this. So because you're sending raw numerical values, I enable you to either format it or use pre and after fixes with your values itself. And just like in the column chart, scroll down, you see the key features right here, and you also see what is perfect for recommendations, what this chart should be used for, and of course the configurable options. Everything here from the design section up until the font weight, this belongs to the design itself in the custom, meaning that these particular values are what you see from the design up until the font weight, and then from there, from here up until here, these are these parts of the demo itself, so the actual stuff that you can customize. Of course, like always, go and check it, because you might find something here that it's not in the demo page, mostly on the line and area charts. So it's always good to check the configurable options for all the values. And down in the data format, I tell you how to initialize a single series and how to initialize a multi-series, which could be a grouped or a stacked, depending if the variable stacked true or false, right? And that's basically stacked true or false. That's what it means. Again, you can download the full library or just download the core one like this, and then download the bar component, which is just on top of it, or download the full library and add it to your project. That's it for a bar chart. On the next video, we'll go over the line chart.